What is up, guys, and welcome to my 250 subscriber special. So yeah, we hit 250 subscribers actually on the same day as it became 1 year on my channel, so thanks a lot for that. We're actually on 259, which is awesome. But yeah, thanks a lot for that. And for 250 subscribers, I'm going to be showing how to make a Minecraft banner. Like, it was a really highly requested tutorial. I'm not going to go too much into detail, but yeah, I'm just going to show you the basics of making a banner, straight from the posing to like the finished product. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Now, the rig that I use is the Timy edit, v6.4 Mineboss and Worthyy edit, and this is basically what you see when you open up the rig. And what you do is first you uncheck this magnet right here, because that's what makes, if you keep it on, then everything will snap. Like, hang on, if I could show you properly. If you keep it on, then everything will just snap. So it will just go like in straight, like, I don't know, it's like measured out, and everything just snaps to a particular place. But yeah, but you want to turn that off so then you can move it as freely as possible. So as you can see now, I can move it however I want. So yeah, make sure you turn that off. Now you don't really need this tab, okay? And yeah, so this is what you're gonna see. And the second thing you want to do is you want to click on the character. Just click on it until you see all these green like rectangles lit up, and you go into object mode. So you press that and then you change it to pose mode. So that enables you to actually like move the character around. So yeah, so that's what you do when you open it up. Now, to change the skin, and this has also been requested quite frequently, basically just open up this tab, just make it a bit bigger, okay, and switch it to UV image editor, okay, and go to the skin, and as you can see, that's Worthyy skin, which is seen over here. Now what you want to do is go to File, External Data, uncheck Automatically Pack into Blend, okay, and then go back into File, External Data, and do Unpack All into Files, and then select the first option, Use Files in Current Directory, Create when necessary. So what that does is it enables you to use the files on your computer. So now, don't click on that, don't press the cross, or don't do this, because that's how you normally change the skin. Even over here, go to Image, Replace Image, and you can choose whatever skin you want. So I'm just going to go to the latest one, which happens to be my skin. Okay, so as you can see, it changed the skin. So that's how you change the skin. And then from then on, you can just keep changing it from here, as normal. So yeah, I'm just going to go back to my skin because it's easier to use, okay? Now, I use this with my private Lightroom, but I'm just going to use the default Lightroom because, yeah, I didn't exactly want to give away my private Lightroom. But yeah, that's how the default Lightroom looks. Right, so, what you want to do when making a Minecraft banner is try to create, like, a really, like, animated and dramatic character. But first of all, before we pose, we're going to extrude first, because it's probably best to extrude before, because it's much easier from this angle. So what I'm going to do is just go into front perspective by pressing 1 on your number pad, and I'm going to uncheck restrict select, because what that does, it enables you to select the body parts as well. Now I'm just going to go over basic extruding. If you want to see a full-on detailed extruding tutorial, then check out Shadow's tutorial. It's for Blender and it's really good, so make sure you check that out. I'm just going to go over the basics and how you know, what I think the best extruding would be. So first of all, I'm just going to start off with the hair, and what you're going to do is there's been many problems with this, because in Blender, it's known that you can't actually keep the face and extrude the hair because it does some really messed up stuff. But I'm going to show you how to fix that, okay? So, I'm just going to go quickly. Okay, right. So I'm just going to go closer to the character. And I'm going to take the head, yeah. First I'm going to turn on the face, okay? So now as you can see, the blue eyes, we can fix that later, okay? Then make sure you selected the head. Then go into the modifiers tab, which is the spanner over here, okay? And just cross out this Boolean modifier, okay? So just cross that out. What that does is, now if you press tab, okay, that puts it into edit mode, and then press the numpad slash, That makes it so you can only see the head. Now, if you select all of the hair, so let me just do this really quick. It's going to select all of the hair on the head. And it won't take long, but yeah. So make sure you get every single aspect of the hair, because it's really annoying if you like extrude it and then you have to get just one more, and you missed out one more pixel, and then you have to extrude that separately. So make sure you've got everything. And they've edited the eyes so it goes in a bit, so make sure you don't select those, because those will extrude as well. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I've selected all the head. I'm not going to really select that on the bottom because it's not really needed, because you don't exactly see it. You press P as a selection. Now normally if you hadn't unchecked that boolean modifier, the hair would have disappeared, but it's still there now. Right, so now, as you can see, we can select the hair separately if I can. Right, so I've got the hair selected. Now you want to do is just, you know, you can go into, you can go back into that perspective by pressing numpad / or you can just stay in here. So what you want to do is go into modifiers again, add modifier, solidify, okay? So now if you change the thickness, it goes outwards. And yes, as you can see, it goes out a bit. And so, you know, you can extrude it as much as you want. But, yeah, so I'm just gonna take this and go, I don't know, like 3,000 thickness, like, no, 2,000 thickness, because I've still got, like, I've got like a hoodie skin, so I don't want it to stick out too much, but it's enough that you can see that the hair is extruded. So if you look at it from the side, you can see that the hair's out a bit, okay? So right, now that's done, what you want to do, now the hair's extruded, but now if you try to open the mouth, it's not there. So what you want to do is go select the head again, if I can. So not the hair, the actual head this time, okay? So this is the head. Go into modifiers, add back the boolean modifier, and go to the object, left click, and then go down until you can find char, mesh, head, mouth. Okay, so once you click that, what that does is now it enables you to see the mouth. So now you can have extruded hair and have facial features in Blender. So that's how you do that. And they've made sure that, like, you know, when you open the mouth, it's in the correct spot, because usually it used to be up there. So now it's in the correct area, so you don't have to move the mouth around. Now that's done, so that's like the hair extruded. Now I'm just gonna quickly go through like everything I need to extrude, so I'm probably gonna extrude like these over here. Now just make sure you just like P-select everything that you take out. And I'm just going to select like everything that would probably be extruded in real life. So these are like headphones and the mic. So that would definitely be extruded, okay? So I'm just going to take that. I'm not going to do like detailed extruding because that'll take too long. I'm just going to go solidify and just like, you know, just increase that how much you think would look good. So I'm just going to do this really rough, because I'm not trying to achieve like a really like sophisticated look here. Now make sure that, again, in real life, you could either have the headset curve like this, or you could have it straight, so you click even thickness so it's straight. I'm just going to keep it curved for now because I think it looks a bit better, because your headset normally curves around your head. Okay, so now we've done that. So that's like the head for the extruded, okay? Next we move on to like the body area. Now I'm just going to delete this second layer because there's nothing on it, and just select the torso. Then you go tab and then press numpad /. Now normally people select the entire jacket and they extrude, but I'm not going to do that because it's just too, like, it looks too bulky and it goes a bit weird at the corners. So just select the edge of the jacket, okay? Please select that and select the strings. Please select that and then just select around the t-shirt. Please select that. Okay, and the tail, well, you're not really going to see that. So now if I go back into here, so now I'm just going to select, just do the same thing again and again and again. And that's right, so those are the laces done. And I'm going to do around the t-shirt. So it just looks like it's out. The rest of it's actually on the same level. But it's just, you know, it's just really a trick to show that it looks a bit 3D now, and it doesn't look too bulky either. So I'm just going to do that and make sure that this is a bit less than the laces, because otherwise it won't look realistic. Something like this. So yeah, as you can see, it looks like it's out even though the rest of it's still in. But yeah, that's how to extrude it so it doesn't look too well, you know, bulky. Right, so now I'm going to move on to the arms. And well, there's nothing really to do on the arms, so I'm just going to leave that there. So you know how this works really. So now the shoes. Now this is where people just select the entire thing, but I like to do these. So the middle part. So I select that, and then I do, you know, the main part. Select that, and then I do the sole of the shoe. And I select that. So now, if you go into here, you just select each one. So I do the main part, I do something like, oops, wrong modifier. I do something like minus 0.3000. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Then I do the middle part. It's kind of difficult to select, but okay, there we go. So I do that part, and I do something like minus 0.5000 maybe. Select the sole of the shoe, and I do something like minus 0.5500, something like that. Maybe minus 0.6000, something like that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm just gonna quickly do it for the other side now. So again, just select everything. Again, not a detailed extrusion tutorial, because obviously this is a banner tutorial and not, you know, an extruding tutorial. This is just the first part. It's probably going to be around 3 parts. So yeah, right, so that's done. That's done. Now I need to select the sole of the shoe. And thanks a lot for the I'm gonna make thanks a lot for the 3,000 views on my infinite sword rig. I have no idea why it's got that many, because I was really just experimenting. But yeah, I mean, it's still pretty cool. I've got 3,000 views on that. So yeah, thanks a lot for that. I'm just trying to like think of like appropriate values. Does that look the same? Oh, that's definitely the same. So I like to keep these rounded as well, because it's much more realistic than just even thickness, because they're not really square. So yeah, that's pretty much just basic extruding. Obviously it won't look great. It doesn't look great, but you know, it's just basic extruding, you know, it does the job. Right, so now we need to come up with the pose. So I'm just gonna make sure that I've got my eye color proper. So I'm just gonna switch to 2 color right here. The top color is going to be that. And the same color as that, and the bottom color be that. So make sure, because the default color for the eyes is blue, so you need to make sure that you keep your skin open. So then that happens there. So you can fix that, and I don't really like the eyebrows, so I'm just gonna move that up. Right, so now you've got all of that stuff sorted. Your next step is posing now. Now, I really like this rig because you can stretch the arm, so it looks much more like Cinema 4D, with like, you know, certainly stretch them as far as you want, but obviously you don't want to do it too much. So basically, you just want like a really nice and like animated pose. So make sure that your character is leaning forward. So I know we've like separated everything, but in the end they're all parented to this. So you know, they still all move around. So right, so make sure that you make sure that your character does something like really, you know, exaggerated. So yeah, trust me, it actually looks really good. But the controls on this rig are a bit different. So you need to face like the axis where you want to rotate, and then it'll rotate that way. So for example, if I select like torso from the front, I can't, like, it'll go from side to side. from the side, or obviously directly front, and from the top, it can't really like, it'll go from like this way. So yeah, I'm just gonna go from here and just like try to make like a really exaggerated pose. So then it looks like, I'm just gonna try and, obviously you can just do like press R twice to make it look so you can rotate to any direction you want. So if I go to like, I don't know, something like shadows, I was watching animation, and if I go to like shadows, for example, what he does is like, Flash, like Flash, who he often deals with. If you see like the posing, you can see like just the general, the render is just so much like, obviously this was just a casual pose right here. But look at this one, it's like really extended. You wouldn't really make that pose in real life. But yeah, as you can see, it's like, you know, really exaggerated. So that's the effect that we're trying to achieve here. So we're gonna try and just like make a really like, you know, exaggerated pose. I'm not gonna copy this one obviously, because then that's just weird. So I'm just gonna try and like, just make sure that you've got a good pose, and I'm just gonna rotate to this arm and then just move this arm over. Don't worry guys, I'm not going to copy that pose, because that's just no. It's just no, don't copy other people's poses, because it's just not nice. They came up with the idea. You shouldn't copy it really. So I'm just gonna try and make this just really like basic pose here. It's not too much like effort in it. And I'm just gonna try and like get a fishing rod simply because it looks really good. So, or maybe I'm just gonna keep it like this. You never know. I'm just gonna make sure you got a little bit of a bend in the arm there. And you know, you're just looking that way. Then try and move this arm a bit, because I'm probably gonna take the camera angle from somewhere like here. So I'm just going to bend the arm so it looks more realistic. And you know, just make sure that the torso is like really just a bit exaggerated, so it doesn't look realistic, but you know, it still looks good. And you would probably want like the perspective to be slightly down, so not directly like in front, but slightly down. And you change the perspective up a bit. And don't use like, you know, the same weapons again and again, and don't use the same ideas. Try to, you know, make your ideas unique. So as you can see, it's quite a, like an exaggerated pose here. Probably gonna take this angle. Right, so to bring in a weapon to the scene, you go to, I've already done this, but I'm just gonna do it again just to show. So you're gonna go File, Append, and yeah, just go find where like all your weapons are. I'm just gonna take something from my own like really bad looking back. I'm just gonna take on like this sword over here. So yeah, and then you bring in the sword. Obviously it'll be a bit big depending on how they made it. And then just press S and just scale it down, and R, and you just rotate it and make sure it fits. But yeah, that's basically it. So once, and then make sure you move the weapon into a particular pose. You can take this angle right here. This looks pretty good, but I'm just going to take this angle because, you know, I think it looks slightly better. And on this rig, you can even like move this up to make sure that the cape is in there, or it is there. That's really good. So yeah, what you do is you just move around, move the camera around, and I'm going to keep this. I'm going to go to 3D view and then press 0 on the number pad to show the camera. So you can keep this in 3D view and this in 2D, so then you can see where it's meant to go. So I'm just going to move this around a bit. Just looking up a bit. Is that good? And just try and get it like there. Yeah, that's the angle that I want. So I need to move it down, move it up a bit. Bit to the side, down. Just want to rotate it so it's a bit more. Like more action in the scene. Just gonna keep moving it around. Just looking at the other screen, so it's easier this way. So if I look at this, that's not bad. It's a pretty good pose. Now if I render this, I just go into render, So yeah, that's what it will look like once I render it. So yeah, that doesn't look too bad. So I'm going to use that now. Obviously I need to change this cape pose a bit. So make sure you select the cape, go into pose mode, and then just like, you know, move the cape around a bit so it looks a bit more curved, more realistic. So sometimes I do R twice and then I can like bend it around and so it looks like a bit cooler and just like it looks a bit more realistic. So I'm gonna do something like, so yeah, it doesn't look just like normal, it looks much more realistic. So I'm just gonna move this one like that. There we go, so that looks much better. So yeah, that's what the render's gonna look like. So now, if you go into camera, like press this, and then I'm gonna turn down the exposure just a tad bit, because I think it's a bit too bright in my opinion. So I'm just gonna turn down the exposure, just like a bit. Alright, so that looks good. Now I'm going to go into here on the film, so right under exposure, just click transparent, so then you won't see all those white lines in the background. So yeah, so you still maintain the Lightroom effect, it's just not like with those white lines in the background. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And the samples I'm just going to keep at, yeah, around 18. It takes some time, so basically, if this is how samples work. If you want the render to be super good, then just turn up the samples, but it will take like a billion years to render. But if you want it really like, if you want to render quick, you can literally turn it to 1 and render quicker but with less quality. So if I render this, you can either press F12 or you could go render image, okay? But as you can see, look, it's already rendered, but look at the quality, it's a really noisy image. So if I turn it up a bit more, say something like around, it's a bit too high right now. I do something like 20, but like for if I'm trying to make like a really good banner, then I do something like 30. It takes a really long time, but it's so worth it. So yeah, as you can see, it takes way longer, and it says like the tiles up here. So if you want a really good render, I'm gonna say just keep it at 15 for now. So that ensures it's a good render, but it takes, it doesn't take too long. So I'll just press F12 and it will start to render. Right, so as you can see, it will start to render. And you can always keep this unrendered so you can see what it will look like when it's done. So yeah, that's pretty much the first part of the tutorial, posing and extruding. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next tutorial, which I'll upload really soon, and that's when we start actually making banner. We'll probably be doing render effects. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.